All right. Hi, guys. Thanks for joining us. Per usual, I am going to hold for just a couple seconds, not very long at all, while we're waiting for people to join the live. Make sure that all of my technical aspects are working properly over here, and that I can see comments and all of that fun stuff. Turn this. Okay. So I have it all set up where I can see. Just going to wait just a couple minutes and then we'll get right into it. How is everyone doing today? Good, I hope. We have a couple different things that we're going to go over. This is just going to be a fun live. I'm going to show you guys some of the new colors that we launched this past Saturday. Show a couple different application processes. I'm not actually putting them onto a cup. We are using some coasters because that'll be easier for me to just move things around quickly and show you guys a couple different ways to apply them, some ideas, how they look, how they can be used, lots of fun stuff. Let's see here. I'm not seeing any comments yet, so just a brief pause while I'm waiting to make sure that that's working properly. Okay, I do see one comment there. So, okay. Let me grab something to put the hair up because we're going to need it. Meg, it's a Logitech camera. I was reading what it says on there. It's a Logitech camera. It's a wide angle view though. I should look up here so I can talk to you. I'm looking at the comments. It's a wide angle view though, so you can see like the whole Hot Mess Express. It just is what it is right now. Hi. Okay, so let me get this hair up. I should have done that before I started the live, but we're waiting for people to join. So oh, that's good. I'm glad that it looks good on your end. I was worried because they don't always. Hi, hi, hi. Hello, everybody that's joining. If you guys don't know already, we're just going to be playing with some of the new colors that we dropped on Saturday. Okay. So let's go ahead and just get right into it. Let's talk about what we're going to be playing with. We're going to be playing with the Tarot collection. Let me give you guys a double view here. So we're going to be playing with the Tarot collection, which if you guys hadn't seen them already, these are the new epoxy additives that we added to our lineup. There's a whole bunch of them. There's 13 of them. Yeah, 13 of them. And a lot of people have asked, how do you use them? What's the difference? And we're going to go over all of that in this video. Have a little bit of fun while we're at it. Okay. So Justice, if you guys aren't already familiar with them, I don't want to mix up my little samples here. I have samples on top of all of them, and I'm trying not to like mess that up. The moon, and I'm going to open these and show you all of them as we go. We have the star. I'm just going to read them off because if I spend like half an hour showing them all to you like this, then it's going to be boring. The tower. Let me move my tray closer. Wheel of Fortune, the sun, the chariot, the hermit, the lovers, the magician, the high priestess, the empress, and the fool. And those are all inspired based off of tarot cards. So I don't know if you guys have been able to check them out on the site or not, but we did insert the meaning of each tarot along with the description. Kind of fun. All right, so let's dig right in. So as far as these being cosmetic safe, Sandy, I'm going to say no to that. And I'm going to say no to that because I did not purchase them and add them to the lineup with the intention of them being a cosmetic safe product. So they're different from the safety data sheets on those are different from what would be branded as cosmetic safe. Are they going to hurt your skin? Absolutely not. Do I think that you should put them in your lip products and in your eye products? Absolutely not. I would say that these would be safe, like skin safe, not cosmetic safe. So these could go in lotions and oils and sunblocks, things of that nature to give you a little bit of sparkle, but absolutely not cosmetics. Not because they're toxic, just because I don't have the cosmetic safety rating for them in my possession. So that's why I'm going to say no. Nails, absolutely. Nails, yes, please. Okay. So I have a bunch of coasters, and these are just like the white. I don't have just a plain white one here to show you, but I got a case of them at like Lowe's or Home Depot for like 20 bucks. Like it was super, super cheap. This case of like 100 of these tiles. And I just spray painted them black, cleaned them really well first and spray painted them black. I did paint a few of them other colors. I have a pink and I have a bright yellow. I have a teal green and a hot pink. And then I have some that I applied some clear cast to because that's super fun. So let's, yeah, now that I showed you all the things, let's get into it. So I'm going to mix up some epoxy because I am going to pour epoxy on these. I'm going to use epoxy to apply them. And then we're going to start just dumping things in the epoxy and pouring them over these coasters. Super fun, right? Hi, hi, hi. All right. What do we got here? Let's use the artist resin from Counterculture DIY. Let's use that one. I would use the fast set, but I want to be able to have a little bit more work time with these to like manipulate them and move them around. So I don't want to get too crazy with the fast set. I want to be able to mix a slightly larger batch and disperse it. So I have my typical, this is weird, huh? Because I'm looking to make sure I'm like reading the comments, but you guys are over here. So I'm going to try to make sure I'm being aware of that. So I have the typical cups that I use. These little, I think I get them at like Walmart. I got these ones on Amazon because Walmart was out, but just a little drinking cups. And then my disposable little medicine cups that I get from Allegro Medical. They have this 1 cent sale that's like epic. So when they have their 1 cent sale on the little medicine cups, then go ahead and grab yourself like 1,000 of those. You won't regret it. I'm using some wooden popsicle sticks to stir up my epoxy. I know that's usually a no-no, but that's what I'm using. I'm also going to be using these guys. You guys have seen these before, the stainless steel stir sticks. I'm going to be using those to scoop some of the additives in and move it around and whatnot. And then I'm also going to use these little cups for adding little bits of epoxy into each one to add the different colors to. So yeah, let's get right into it. These would be absolutely perfect for nails, actually. Some of the stuff that I'm doing here, the way we're going to be applying it, would be really pretty on nails. All right, so I'm just going to mix up my epoxy equal parts. I'm doing a full medicine cup of each part because I'm going to separate this out to add different colors to. So I want to have plenty of it mixed up, and I'm sure I'll have to mix more, but. I need some royalty-free music that YouTube won't ding me for, so we can play some music while we're doing this. Okay, so I'm going to use my little popsicle stick here. I don't like that view. I feel like there's just not enough light on this part here. I'm wondering if I can change that. Probably not. Is it dark on you guys' end? Seriously, the containers, the 1 ounce, like when you think 1 ounce, you're like, that's just not a lot. But with how fine these products are, even the holographic additives and the brights that we have, you don't have to use very much. Like you use so little. And if you're doing nails, an ounce of glitter is going to last you like your entire lifetime of doing nails. It takes so little. There it is. I have a little garbage bucket I keep close so that I'm not running back and forth to the garbage can. And then I just dump my bucket in the garbage can when I'm done. It's terrible. How is everyone doing today? Good, I hope. It's warm here today. I know some of you are still like in winter, but it's like full on hot spring here right now. So that's it, hence the tank top. You guys know summertime hits around here and I'm always in a tank top. Oh yeah, some of you are at work, huh? All right, I'm just gonna whip this epoxy up. Happy birthday! It just says Facebook user. If you weren't able to grant permissions to StreamYard, sorry, I know you guys are gonna be able to hear the cars, then I can't see your name. So happy birthday. Oh no, withdrawals. Okay, so packing up to move is so painful. I know when we, like, because I've moved, this studio used to be in my home, and then it was out in a little outbuilding at my house, and then we moved here. So each of those times, like moving from place to place, like every time I would need something, it was the one thing I hadn't unpacked. Like I could unpack everything except for one box, and everything I need is in that one box. Yeah. Aw, thank you. I hope I say this right. Is it Letitia or Letitia? I've heard it both ways. And I know I whipped this epoxy into oblivion, but it's okay because it's going on a thin surface on the coasters, so I'll be able to torch the bubbles out really easily. Okay. Sorry, I know there was nothing going on in the little bird's eye frame here, but I had to lift it up closer so I could mix it properly. All right, let's do this. So, excellent. Some of you have already been on the site. You've already seen the sneak peek videos that I did. I showed you guys like these little samples here that I had already done over black and white with some of the colors. So you were able to kind of see, like, doesn't want to show you that at all, does it? The gist of what's going on here. And I know that some of you had questions like, what's the difference between this one and this one? Because there are 4 that are a pearlescent. There are 4 that are a gold. and then there are 5 that are a color shift. So looking at photos, you can kind of have them side by side and be like, okay, but these look exactly the same. So I assure you that they all are different in some way. The pearls and the gold, they're different in their collections by size. So it goes from like super powdery small, and then they gradually get a little bit larger. I'll show you what that looks like really quick. Yeah, you can't see it. Let me see here. I'm going to move this view right here. I'm going to move it over to the other side where I have the light and see if getting more light on it helps. Because I do have a light right here, so let's see if that helps. Okay. So they go from the smallest size here, which is like a, making sure that this is in frame. That's really difficult to see. Super, super tiny. It's hard to see because it's super, super tiny, okay? And then it gets a little bit bigger on the flake. And then a little bit bigger on the flake. Like you can see as these go, you can start seeing a little bit like larger chunks in the size until you get up to the largest flake size. So while they're all similar in tone, they're all going to give you different results depending on how much or little you add to your epoxy. Same thing for the pearl colors. So we have the tiny. Get it over here where you can actually see it. Super, super tiny pearlescent, really beautiful over black because it doesn't change the color of the black. And then it goes to the next size up. You can start seeing a little bit larger flake on that. Same thing all the way through, a little bit larger flake, and then until you get to the largest flake. This one here, this big flake is the moon. And I really, really love this one. I love them all, but I really love this one because it gives off, let's see here. It gives off a really cool vibe over the black. It makes it look like you have a chunky, flaky black glitter without putting any additional color into it. I love that. All right. So hopefully that answers any questions you guys had about it. And in the descriptions, I did try to put, this is like this super ultra fine up to the larger cuts. But they are all different sizes. So if you did get like all 4 golds, they're different sizes. They're not all the same. And let's move you guys down. Let's get you closer to the action. I don't know why this is so difficult for me to position. The camera itself, I apologize. The way I have it positioned, it's backwards. So when I'm moving it to the left, it moves what you're seeing to the right, and it throws my whole, I don't know what I'm doing. It throws everything off, okay? I should be able to just move it where I want it to show up on the camera, and that's where it is, but that's not how it goes. All right. So I'm going to separate some of the epoxy that I mixed up into these little cups. I know it's slightly off camera here. Let me give you a wider view of what's going on down there. So I'm going to separate just a little bit into here. I'm not going to need very much because I'm going to do a drizzle. And I'm going to do a drizzle of the golds. So I am going to do 4 of these because there's 4 different golds. And I have this over a silicone mat so that any epoxy drips are like safe. They're not going to hurt anything. Now I am going to take just a little bit of the epoxy that I mixed and I'm going to spread it onto the coaster so that I have a base of epoxy so that when I start spreading my little, drizzling my little cups on there, they have somewhere to move. And I don't need very much. Obviously, I don't want this to be super duper thick, especially since I'm going to drizzle the pigment stuff on top of it, the little additives. That's why I'm spreading with the stick instead of just pouring epoxy on, because I'm really just trying to get a good base coat onto this coaster. There's a little curmudgeon on there. Let's get that off. It happens. Curmudgeon happens. Okay. Let me get this out of the way so I don't knock it over. I have it sitting up on one of the little medicine cups. I'm hoping that keeps it even enough. And where's my, there it is. I'm going to pop the bubbles with a torch. And I'm doing quick passes with the torch because I'm not trying to scorch my epoxy. Hi, Juanita. Hello, hello. Okay, so let's start with the gold. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. So I have, I'm going to try to start smallest to largest so that I can tell you as we go. So the smallest one is going to be the Wheel of Fortune. And I'm going to put just a tiny, I'm going to use this and I'm literally going to just put a tiny, tiny little bit into that epoxy. And I'm going to just wipe my wiping my stick off on a paper towel. The next size up, let me just make sure, guys, I don't want to tell you wrong here. Yeah. The next size up is the Hermit. A little bit larger flake. Same thing. I'm just going to get a little tiny bit on the end of that and put that into the epoxy. And we have the Chariot. I'm backwards again. So good. And then the largest flake is the Sun. Ooh-wee. Look at that. That's so good. So I'm going to get a nice little scoop of it there. This one doesn't want to pile up on the end of the stick like the other ones did because it's so fluffy. It's so fluffy. See, I have a little spot right there that wants to get away from me. Okay, I'm going to use that same stir stick to mix these up. give them a quick little mix. All right, and all I'm going to do with these is I'm going to just drizzle them over. I'm going to need to add a little bit more epoxy so that I have a good drizzle. That's why I over mixed, so that I have my epoxy mixed right there on the side, ready to dump more in if need be. Okay, so this is the sun. And I whipped that one up pretty good, so I'm going to have to pop some bubbles there, but that's not a problem. This one is the Wheel of Fortune. It's all like, can you guys see that? Because it's so little. Oh, yum. If you're wanting to just add a little bit of an accent to your pieces, then you would use like barely even a little breath of this, like tiny, tiny, tiny amount to your epoxy, and it's just going to add a little bit of a gold sparkle. Adding more obviously is going to make it more gold concentrated. This one is the Hermit. Try to get a good focus there. I'm going to just spread this across. That way I can show it to you guys and show you how they do look different from each other side by side. And then the Chariot. A little bit larger flake there. Oh, come on. So these colors are already available on the site for anyone that is inquiring about that. I am going to go in on the sun, the first one that I added, and I'm going to kind of just encourage it to move over here. And I'm going to hit that really quick with a torch. I need a better torch. All right, so give me just a second, you guys, and I'm going to move this a little bit, hopefully, so you can see. I'm just going to go through and add a little bit more of these colors in. Once this is all cured, I am going to take a gold paint pen and go around the edge, so it's going to be a cute little golden black coaster, which is going to coordinate with the other sets that I'm going to show you in just a second. Like, it's going to be a total set, and it's going to be adorable. So since I showed them all to you already, I'm going back in here with the Wheel of Fortune, the tiniest one, and I'm doing this corner, and then I'm going to do the same thing on this corner. That way I can really give you guys a sense of the difference between these. And of course, this camera is not going, there's a hair on it. Oh, look at there. I think I got it. I'm not sure. This is real life crafting, guys. To pop those bubbles. Okay. Can you see that? So we have the sun here. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune. Then we have the Chariot. And then we have, where did I go? Hold on, I'm backwards. So I have the sun, I have the Wheel of Fortune, I have the Hermit, and I have the Chariot. My bad. Hopefully you're able to see that well enough for it to make some sense. Okay, I'm going to put that one aside. And I'm going to do another one with the pearls. Put those in order. Okay, same thing. I'm separating my epoxy 4 ways because there's 4 colors. The smallest of this bunch is the tower. Oh, that's not going to give you any of how pretty it actually is. Well, that's a shame. There we go. Okay. Same thing. I literally am just going to get just a little scoop. The next size up is named Justice. And Justice is a little bit different color than the others. The others are like a really white pearl. This one is more of a cream pearl, an off-white pearl, and it is ridiculous in person. Then we have the star. It is the new collection that was launched on Saturday. Yes, one of them. There were 2. The star. Super gorgeous, super sparkly, pearlescent. Like this one's like, boom, in your face. Look at me. Okay, and then the moon, which is the largest flake in the pearls. So you might look at this one and it looks a little like womp womp, like it's just pearlescent, really large flakes of pearlescent. Can you see on my finger there? Almost completely clear. And that's what makes it appealing, is you can literally add this on top of any base color and get a sparkle without changing the actual color. Or if you have somebody that says, I want sparkle, but not glitter. Isn't that like the oddest request ever? I want sparkle, but no glitter. Well, that's what this will do for you, guys. This is sparkle with no glitter. Get these mixed up. All right, and get a base down of epoxy so we have something to work off of. Try to do this quickly. You should be wearing gloves if you're doing this at home, please. Don't be sloppy like me. Just trying to get this down really quickly because I am going to run out of playtime on my epoxy if I don't. Because it's like 1,000,000 degrees in here. Okay. We get these bubbles. This is what happens when we do this on live, right? All those little moments where if you have an edited video, you can like edit them out. Okay. Try to put this where, there we go. I know that that is like slightly off kilter there, but it doesn't have as much of the window reflection in it. So we have, starting at the top, we have the tower. Taking that all the way to the edge. And then we have Justice. Get that on there. The star. And this is a super simple way to make something. I know Mother's Day is coming up, so I'm killing 2 birds with one stone here. Making something useful and demonstrating the differences between all of these new additives. And then this is the moon, the big chunky guy. I'm going to cover this whole corner with it. And then I'll get those bubbles. Okay. Let me lift this up. I'm going to have to grab some alcohol wipes for my hands. So we have the tower starting at this corner. The tower, Justice, the star, and the moon. There's got to be a better angle here. As always, you guys, I will post better high definition videos of these with and without flash in the Facebook group once they're cured. So pretty. Okay. One second, you guys, I'm going to grab a alcohol wipe for my hands because that one was messy. These, I'm going to show you how these look over colored bases. So, I mean, I absolutely feel like they would, honestly. I feel like they would. So, I mean, if you're just wanting a little bit of a sparkle, it's not going to give you that full glitter effect because it's going to be more of a sparkle. But you'll definitely see the color underneath. All right, so let me dump a few of these on a couple colored bases to show you guys what that looks like. So I have a bright pink pearlescent base here. Have a teal green. And we'll do the bright pink. That's not working at all. That's okay. We're going to do these one at a time anyway. So. Boom. Okay, so this is like a pearlescent pink, like a magenta pink color. And I don't know which one of these cups I have, you guys. This is just going to be kind of a demonstration to show you how they look over a colored base. I'm just going to be grabbing the cups and smearing them on because I'm going to run out of time on my epoxy. That was the moon. I do know that one. And this one is Justice. Can you guys see? You can right there. How you can still see the pink through. But now it's got this really pretty pearlescent shimmer on it. Yes. And then this is the tower. The finest one of the bunch. I didn't put the star on this because I won't have enough room. Okay. Okay, so on a pink base, and this side over here, that's the moon, all chunky, but you still see the pink underneath. So you guys are getting the gist of it, right? So instead of being like a holographic or a iridescent additive, these are pearlescent metallic additives. I'm going to put the gold colors over the green. If they're still workable. And I don't know which ones each one of these are. You guys, I set them aside so they're no longer in their lineup. I'm sorry, but they're all equally beautiful. So this is really concentrated. You guys saw the like little scoop that I put in there. It doesn't take very much at all. So I'm trying to spread this out, thin it out a little bit. Oh man, it is flaming hot in here. I do know that this second one that I'm using right here is the Hermit because it's the smallest one. I can tell you that. Okay. And I'm going to do the sun. The other one doesn't have enough left in the cup for me to do anything with. So the sun, I'm going to put that over here. And then I'm just going to put some of the clear epoxy on that part right there. Trying to do this so quick, you guys, so I can show you everything that you were asking about and give you all the details on these without dragging it out. So I know it's a little sloppy. Okay. I got a couple little stubborn spots. So you guys can see the larger flake here. I believe that that one was the Chariot here. And then Wheel of Fortune there. And then the sun on the other side. That is so difficult for you guys to see. Oh, boom! There it is. There's the sweet spot. I knew I'd find that spot eventually. Okay, I'm not going to do this bright pink one because I have too many other things to show you guys. Too many other things. All right. Get some of those cups out of the way. I am going to mix a new batch of epoxy because I need a fresh one for the color shifts. Okay, I got some of the epoxy spill out of the way. Let's talk about the color shifts. Okay, so we have the full, which is a opalescent. Can I find that sweet spot again? It's an opalescent additive. You can see it there over the white, but over a dark base, it's green. I know that's kind of hard to see, but it is green. The full is green. The High Priestess, again, opalescent over white, but it shifts gold over a dark base. The Empress, Again, opalescent over white, but shifts to a purple over a dark base. The Magician shifts blue over a dark base. Super, it's annoying that you can't see how pretty it is over the white, but. And then the last one is the Lovers, which shifts red, a really pretty red. You can see that better. There it is. So there are those. I'm going to do the same thing with these. I'm just going to toss them all over a coaster because that's the easiest way to show them all to you. I'm going to put them all side by side. Let me get a little bit more epoxy mixed up. And at the end of this, I'm going to show you guys 2 new colors that are coming this weekend. Ooh, that slow, painful pour. Okay, let me get these in here as quickly as I possibly can. And I'm just using the regular artist resin in case anyone missed that from Counterculture DIY. Get a good mix here. They're so pretty. Oh my gosh, because I am sweating. It is hot in here. Sorry. Okay. 5 more cups, 5 more cups, 5 more cups. Try to get this as evenly dispersed as I can. All right, let me get a quick little buffer coat on this guy. What I'm doing here, you guys, obviously you can apply this to tumblers. Okay, this is, I don't have the capacity to do like 10 different tumblers at a time. I don't have the space set up where you guys will be able to see what I'm doing. So that's why I'm using the coasters, but the processes that I'm doing on the coasters are intended for like tumbler design. So all right. So I am going to start with the Fool, which is the green shifting opalescent that shifts to green. Get that out of the way. And then the High Priestess that shifts to gold. Oh, I was able to give you guys a good view of that one. It actually showed off the sparkle. This camera doesn't want to show you guys the sparkle of these for some reason. The Empress, which shifts to purple. I almost don't have enough room. The Magician that shifts to blue. And the Lovers, which shifts to a really pretty red. Okay. I'm going in first with the Fool, the green shifty, and then we have the High Priestess, the gold shifty, wait, up here. Okay, the Empress, which shifts to purple. You guys are going to be so overhearing me say this. I know you cannot see what I see, but these are so pretty. So this is the Empress that shifts to purple. Oh, it's like a good violet, like pinky violet. It's yummy. Alrighty. And then we have the Magician. This is the blue shift. Get that on there. And the Lovers, which is the red shift. You're not even going to be able to see how pretty this is. All right. Let me pop some bubbles and then I'll hold that up and try to find that sweet spot again for you guys. All right. So you guys can see the colors a little better. So it is the Lovers, the Magician, the Empress, the High Priestess, and the Fool. And if you put these over white, they're going to be all pretty and opalescent and beautiful. But then you get all of these wonderful sparkly, glittery colors over a dark base. Okay, let's move right along. I want to show you guys a quick and easy way to use these with patterns underneath. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so what I did is I took some of the clear cast. You guys have heard me use that before, the clear cast from Crafty Thrivin. And I have a couple different sets here, and I just kind of cut pieces out and stuck them onto the coasters. This is one from I don't know the exact name of it. I'll have to pull it, but this is a package that has like bees. And this is another section I cut from the palm leaves. And then same thing here. This is the bee package. And then I just grabbed a couple of the leaves and stuck them on there. So all four of these will coordinate together. So if you have a tumbler that has a design on it, this is my point in showing you this. If you have a tumbler that has a design on it, these aren't going to affect it negatively. So I'm going to use the Fool, the one that shifts green. I'm going to use that over the top of this. And I'm kind of just going in, spreading it around. And then I'm going to take the clear epoxy that I still have here. And I'm going to drizzle some of that over it. This is like the sped up version of taking your dear sweet time and carefully pouring your epoxy over your design. Just going to spread this out and then hopefully be able to show you guys a good visual of what it looks like over a design. Okay. Quick bubble pop because otherwise you won't get the full effect. And I know that you guys are not going to be able to see just how pretty this is, but I'm hoping I can kind of find that sweet spot again where you can see what's going on here. So it has a really pretty opalescent shimmer that shifts a little bit of green over the top of that design. Bum, bum, bum. Same thing with another one. I just cut a piece of the stripes off here. I cut the leaves out there. Super, super easy because these are clear printed vinyl. You can stick them right on and they're no fuss. I'm going to use the gold on this one. So this is the High Priestess. And the reason why I'm doing it like this, where I'm just kind of like splopping it on there and then putting the clear with it, is because if I'm doing it over a design, I may adjust how much I put in my epoxy. And by going through and just putting a little bit on and then adding more clear to it, I'm adjusting the amount. So that translates to I would put less of the powder in my epoxy if I was doing it over a design. Short version. I put more in the epoxy, which still wasn't very much, but I put more in the epoxy so that I could show you guys the color concentrated. So I just have a few little places there where I dolloped that color in. And I'm going to kind of work that around. If this were over a tumbler, then obviously I would have mixed this into the epoxy and dumped it on, or you can swirl it in like I did. You can go in and just add little bits. There's no rules. Okay. You can see that? Super duper pretty. So at first glance, like before you catch that, before it catches the light, it's just got a really pretty subtle little opal flake feel to it. Absolutely gorgeous. It's gorgeous. All right. So I think that I basically like covered anything that you guys could have had questions about as far as like which one's which and how do they look and in epoxy and poured over things and all of that. So before I end this video, I'm going to show you guys two new colors. Two new colors that don't even have names. So those of you that are still on this live can help with the name. Hi, Carrie. I'm cleaning my hands. Okay, and because I have epoxy all over this mat and I don't want it on my glitter containers, I'm putting down a fresh silicone because they won't stick together. Alrighty. And of course, I know that this isn't gonna like do them any justice, but we have two new cheat type glitters. These are opals that can be used over white or over any color base. They can be put over multicolor bases and you can see the colors through because they are translucent. And these are in an extra fine cut. So I realized recently that we didn't have a ton of extra fine opals. So we changed that with baby blues and now with these two. So let me see if I can get in the way of the light enough for you to be able to see this. So this is it's a white glitter, but it shifts. It gives off a little bit of a green. Here, let me see. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's not giving you any color. I'll post videos of these guys in the Facebook group, okay? So we have this one. It doesn't have a name. And it looks like this burnished over a white base. So you can see the pink. And then if this camera were giving me good color payoff, you would see there's a little bit of like a yellow shift and then a green as well, but it's not going to show it to you. Super pretty. It actually looks like a real pearl. So like if you want to do something with the tack it method that looks like a real opal pearl, that's going to be your girl. And then this one, same thing. It is an extra fine. It's got a little bit of like a dark purple shift to it that's not going to show up on camera, but that's okay because I'll post good videos. Oh, looky, there you go. She's a beauty. And this is what she looks like burnished over a white base. So this is the tack it method. Again, it's not going to give you the sparkle or the color. That's a little annoying. So it gives you a really nice purple shift. When you go from side to side, you get a really pretty purple. And it's really, really sparkly, like flashy, sparkly. It's not going to... Boo! Okay. I'm going to try not to be too mad at my camera right now. So the first one that I showed you, the one that's slightly pink. Oh, look, there we go. This is over a rainbow base. So it does pick up a little bit of green. But you can see the colors underneath really, really well. And this was applied over the rainbow base with an adhesive that's almost exactly like Mod Podge. It's just not Mod Podge, but basically the same thing. So there's that one. And then this one, the second one that I showed you. I'm trying to get this one close to so you can see. No, still not going to give you the color. That's okay. I won't be too mad at it. This is that one over a rainbow base as well. It's not giving you the goods. But you guys head over to the Facebook group if you're not already there, and I will post really brilliant videos of these and have you guys help me pick a name. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Now that I am sweating like crazy, does that help at all with these? No, it's all washed out. It's not giving me good color payoff, so. I'm hot. It's hot over here working in this corner. All right, so that's it. If you guys have any additional questions about the colors that I featured here, how to use them, if you need me to give you different ideas, whatever, don't be afraid to leave it in the comments. I will see it. I do go back. I do view the comments. If I didn't respond to something you said during the video, then of course I'll get back to you afterwards. And I will link anything that needs to be linked in the description on both the YouTube and on the Facebook. So don't worry if you missed something. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I know I'm having a lot of fun doing them with you. So, and I guess that's it. Head to the Facebook group so you guys can help me name the new glitters, please. Bye, guys. Dun, dun, dun.